Hi and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT. How you doing? The reason why I'm dressed like this, I've literally just come from a funeral. It's been sad day today, so rest in peace my friend Delroy. But also it was a bit like that on Thursday night as well. I mean, it felt, and I'm still feeling gutted about it now, Arsenal out of the Europa League, knocked out of the Europa League by Olympiacos, especially when I then see that Olympiacos have now drawn Wolves, right? And now, whilst Wolves would have been really difficult for Arsenal, because Wolves, they're above us, let's have it right, and they've been playing really well, you would have fancied yourself over 2 legs. You'd say, oh, you know what? I reckon we could get past them. It wouldn't be easy, but the fact that we've been in Europe a lot longer than them, you think to yourself, they're a team we could get past. I mean, we've really messed up on this one, isn't it? Let's get in, first of all, into what happened. Why were Arsenal so flat in that game? I thought that they were going to come out. They'd done all the hard work over there in Athens. I thought they were going to come out, pardon the pun, all guns blazing. They didn't. There were no bullets in the gun, man. It was like they were playing with toy guns. They were so poor.
I'm genuinely gutted about it. Just the manner that we lost. That hurt. That felt like Baku. Honestly.
That bad?
Yeah, that hurt. The manner that we lost that. And the whole emotion of being so high when Aubameyang scores, to being so down, and then having that higher thinking that Aubameyang's going to snatch it again. And of all the players, if you were told to put your house on a player in that position to score you the goal to take you through, you would have picked Aubameyang. And it just deflates. It don't help with the fact of how we conceded the goals. That's what's annoying. And I've had a look back now, and the first one, first and foremost, Olympiacos are a big side. One of the things that they caused us problems with in Greece was crosses. Valbuena, crosses. Why was that not addressed? Our last 4 goals have come from set pieces. So the old frailties come back to haunt us again. First goal. The guy's what? Just outside the 6-yard box. He's about 6'6", 7. Just free header. Then you look at the final goal, and I'm looking at it and I'm just banging my head against the wall. If that was my team, who are not even professional, made that kind of errors, I'd be going mad.
Exactly, I said
These
the same
are professional footballers. Look, Leno made a mistake, yeah? Should have cleared it, should have put it in Rosette, all right? But you can allow for mistakes in certain respects. You can go.
You can't allow. No.
What I'm trying to say is that, all right, we won't allow it, but you can understand mistakes happen. All right. What I can't understand and what I can't, give any kind of defense or understanding to, is not doing the basics. When that ball is cleared, first of all, remember the ball was cleared by Lucas Torreira. From the corner, the smallest man on the pitch, clears his lines, yeah? As a defender, David Luiz, you are central to that now the partnership that was there. You have Socrates on the right-hand side to you. You're talking 2 experienced international defenders. Socrates lets the guy that scores move, run off him, no awareness, not switched on. And David Luiz, I heard people talking about he ducked and stuff, and I was like, nah, surely not. Let me go and watch that back. And I watched it. What is he doing? Did he not want to mess his hair up? It's going to wind me up, Robbie, because I sat there and I was so calm after the game because I'm trying not to just completely lose my head. I'm in a good place in my life where I know that no matter what an Arsenal result is, I'm going home to my family. That's what's important to me in life. My children, and everything else. And as long as they're healthy and we've got everything, that's the most important thing in life. And I try and not let Arsenal affect my day-to-day life. But when you see that, are you mad? Schoolboy. There's no excuse in that. There's no excuse in it.
Going back to Leno, right? And I know everybody's been pretty kind to him by saying, you know, he saved us so many times we don't want to say anything about it and that, right? He has saved us so many times. That's his job.
Yeah.
To save us many times. Your job is to save goals as a goalkeeper. And he has saved us many times. I think he's had a great season. I think he's a great goalkeeper. But
there's no excuse in that.
What are you doing, right? He put the whole team under pressure when he could have just put the ball into Rosette. Again, if that would have been your team, my team, I'd be having a go at the keepers for doing that. I'd be like, what? Why did you put every single player under pressure? You know we've conceded the earlier goal from a corner. You know we've been under pressure from set pieces. They've got big lumps in there. You know that's going to mean that they're going to send everybody up into the box because...
including the keeper.
And you also know that if they score that goal, we're dead. Because that means that we're going to have to get 2 goals and we're not going to have times to do it.
No, one goal.
Sorry, 1 goal, but we're not going to have a time to do it. So why? Why? You know, I mean, I just could not...
I don't understand it.
Understand it, and you know, and the whole thing
stinks.
You know, if you listen
Horrible,
to what Mikel Arteta said, he goes, it was unacceptable. He's not making no excuses for him. Unacceptable, he said. It's just horrific.
Look.
And then, like you said at the other end now, we do get one final chance. And as you said, it falls to the one guy that we're all thinking, you know what? And he puts it wide, and we're out. We're out of Europe in February, and it just continues. The poor season that we've been having, this horrific season that we've been having, continues. And the game on Monday won't be easy. Now against Portsmouth, they'll be rubbing their hands together.
Yeah,
they'll be saying, you know what? These guys are going to be coming. Their heads are going to be down. Let's have a go.
The wounded animal.
Yeah,
feel like we
lose that, and we've seen these before, innit? Under Arsene Wenger, innit? Where you have a horrific week where just before that week you're going for everything, and by the end of that week you're out of Europe, you're out of the FA Cup, you're out of the league, you're out. You know what I mean? So it's a big test.
Out of Europe, man. They should have got us to sort out the Brexit deal. Would have been easy to get out of Europe then, wouldn't it? It's just like God. Even to the pass from Granit Xhaka to Leno was poor, and that weren't the first time that Granit Xhaka made passes like that in the game. For some reason, he was overhitting his passes, and they were being zipped in too hard. And
all game he was doing it.
And
I said to somebody, it was like watching the old Xhaka. I feel since Arteta's come in, he's been playing really, really well. What I saw on Thursday night, that was the old Xhaka. Came back. The only player out on that pitch that I thought played well, one of the few players, was Mustafi. I thought he did pretty well.
I never thought I would see the day that Mustafi going off changed the game for us in a negative way. If he stays on the pitch, we don't concede that goal. Because who's the one man over the last few weeks that heads everything out? I think we even spoke about the Everton game and said he's probably got concussion. He headed the ball that much.
Yeah.
Even last night, everything. That's testament to the way that he's been performing. You know, if you were to sit there now and say to me, which one do you want to go in the summer, Luiz or Mustafi? Luiz. Just not good enough. Every problem we have had was unravelled again last night. For every bit of good work that's been put in, you know, it will always come back to haunt you, because these players have always got a mistake in them. They've always got a calamitous moment within their locker. And you can mask it for a period of time, and Mikel Arteta has masked it really well. And, you know, there are some moments where we've kind of been lucky to get away, you know, with the results we've got. Everton, for example, you know, they can feel aggrieved that they never walked away with at least a point at the weekend. But also at the same time, I think that Mikel Arteta, this is a big learning curve for him. I think that he needs to take on board some of his decisions. I feel that 3 games in the space of 7 days, including going out to Greece, and pretty much keeping 90% of the same side was too much. You know, you've got to look at some of the places we've been to this season. Where did we go to in Germany?
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. You look at the performance we put out there. That was with a much changed side. You know, I'm not saying make wholesale changes, and you know, no, but Robbie, listen.
If he hadn't have played the strongest team,
no,
everybody would be cussing him off if we went out.
You asked me a question, right? If that starting lineup last night, would have been Maitland-Niles instead of Bellerin, Torreira instead of Ceballos, and Oba through the middle with Martinelli out on the left and no Lacazette, would you be moaning at that lineup? Would anyone be moaning at, sorry, but if you were, you're lying.
Well, actually, my lineup before the game that I did in my preview, I went for exactly what Arteta said, apart from I had Torreira in instead of Ceballos. So it was exactly the same. Remember, Lacazette didn't play against Everton.
But he shouldn't be playing at the moment.
No, I'm saying, well, he scored 2 goals in a row.
But it doesn't matter.
No, you can't say that.
No, I can say that, because what you're looking at is the fact he scored 2 goals, not his overall play. We're shoehorning him into the side at the moment when he's not playing well. If you want to sit there and blame people for the reason why we're not into the next round, let's look how many chances Lacazette missed over 180 odd minutes.
He did, but last week over in Athens, he scored the goal that got us the win.
And he also missed a chance 5 minutes later that could have made it 2-0.
He did miss a chance, but he got the goal.
And he missed that chance in the first half.
He missed a chance in the first half, but he got the goal. So I think had he have left him out last night and we would have lost, then everybody would be like, well, why didn't you play Lacazette? He scored 2 in 2. So it's easy to say that. The one that I thought the team selection was all right. I just thought that I would have had Torreira in for a bit more control in the midfield.
No.
But at the end of the day, I feel the players have let Mikel Arteta down. They've come out, they've just been coasting through that first half. They were, you know, I mean, they weren't playing with any intensity or anything. They were just, they. Olympiacos put everybody behind the ball, and it was as if Arsenal said to themselves, yeah, you know what, we'll break them down eventually.
You know what that game was?
I want to see urgency. There's players on that. There's players on that pitch, right, now that I'm seriously looking at and saying the real problem is that there's certain players there, their time has come to an end, in my opinion, right? Yeah. Mesut Ozil is one. Right, I know it becomes sometimes when me and you are talking, or me and others, anybody's talking, it becomes a whole debate around Mesut Ozil. He's been at a club now for a long time. He's the highest earner in the club, and I know money's not everything, but you're the highest earner. I'm not even talking about the money he's getting now. If he gets 350 grand a week, 500,000, $1 million a week, it doesn't matter. But you're getting that for a reason. You're getting that because you are considered to be the best player in that team. So when we got these sticky moments, when we've got moments like yesterday when it's flat, we are calling upon you. That's why you get that big money to make the difference. He doesn't. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch, but he just he's just playing. He's just coasting through. Whereas I saw De Bruyne, when he was playing against Real Madrid, making things happen, having shots, decisive passes. Ozil was just part of the game. Yeah. He wasn't rubbish, he wasn't good, he was just average. I've seen too much of that. I want to see now somebody replace Ozil that is going to be that player that can make the difference in those games. Hector Bellerin, at the moment, I'm looking at, and I know he's had a horrible injury, and this might be a bit unfair because he's had a horrible injury, ACL injury and that, but maybe it might be time to cash in on him. We get a good amount of money for him because he's still a big name. But to me, he was very poor last night. He's had a bit of a torrid time over the past couple games. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he's been up against some very difficult players in Richarlison, and up before that he was up against who was the game before?
St.
Maximin. So he's had difficult guys to come up against when you just come back from an injury, and we know he got that great goal against Chelsea. But I just look at it and think, you know, is it time to improve that position? He's been here a long time. Might be time for a new challenge for him and a new challenge for us in that position.
I think it is.
Then we've got the situation with David Luiz. He does all right, but we know he's always got a mistake in him. We need much better than that. We need much better than Socrates. He served the club well. He does his best, but we need better than Socrates. Mustafi, well as he's been probably one of our best players, probably the player of the month for February, right? I don't know if you'd argue with that.
No, I wouldn't.
But he's on 90 grand a week. And let's have it right. We're not going to be in the Champions Leagues by the looks of it. Well, it's certainly not going to be through the Europa League.
No.
That means, right, under financial fair play rules, we are not going to have the money to be able to go out and get certain players unless we lose some of these type of wages, which is Ozil's wages, which is Mustafi's wages, which is possibly Bellerin's wages, and that, and just starting again, a bit like what Liverpool did. It's going to involve that.
Do you know?
It's going to involve some players that are favourites with the crowd, like Bellerin, like Ozil, that we might have to time to just say, guys,
time to go.
It's time to go.
Do you know that
I don't know what you think of that.
Well,
what do you think of that?
First of all, you know that last night being eliminated has actually cost Arsenal nearly £5 million in reimbursements to fans with season tickets. For people that don't realise, with season tickets,
yeah, because you pay up front.
Yeah, Carabao Cup's not included, but you get given 7 home ties, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And we now will not fulfil those quota, so we get a reimbursement.
What about the FA Cup? Because it includes FA Cup games as well.
Yeah, but now we're in the quarterfinals, isn't it, of the FA Cup? It's the quarterfinals now, isn't it?
Quarterfinals?
Yeah, and there's no replays now.
Oh yeah.
There's no replays, so there's and then obviously semi-final.
You sure is this a quarterfinal?
Yeah, it's gone that far. I think it is that we beat Leeds, beat Bournemouth, then you got Portsmouth. I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's from now where there's no replay. So
yeah,
obviously,
there's no replay. I know there's no replays.
So it's costing them nearly £5 million in reimbursements. You know, so there's a
and then they're not going to go deep down into the competition. Which remember last year we got to the final. Year before we got to the semi-final. We're not going to go deep down into that. So
the only way is getting in that top 4.
Yeah, but we're going to lose a lot of TV revenue. On that, and I'm saying that whether we like it or not, I mean, there's a lot of fans would be sat there and say, hey, Kroenke, dig your hand in your pocket. There is financial fair play. So he can't just...
Why does that financial fair play only apply to us?
No, it applies to everybody.
But why does everyone else seem to be able to spend money and we don't?
Because they're in the Champions League and they're generating money. Tottenham...
No, but you say that, but even clubs down below us are spending money.
Well, that's true. But I think as well, it's the wages that we're paying out for players, existing players.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, because our wages are ridiculous.
Tottenham got to the final of Champions League last year. That's why they've been able to splash so much money on players, because they earn so much revenue from
and their wages are really low.
And their wages have been low. We've got a lot of players that are very high earners, and that's what I'm saying.
So it's the past coming back to bite us still.
The past has come back to bite us. In order to bring in some new players, we're going to have to move some of these players on.
Yeah, we do.
Because we cannot just keep season after season sticking with these guys and it's the same old, same old.
Yeah, because it's not working. It really isn't. And, you know...
It's not working.
Like you said there with the players, Mesut Ozil, I've always been a fan of him and I rate him and, you know, the things he's done.
But it's been years.
At the end of the day, it's time to cash in. It's time to go. Hector Bellerin, I've been addressing this situation for a few weeks now. And I know there will be people out there that go, oh, it's because he slated AFTV. You want him out. And it's like, look, shut up, all right? At the end of the day.
Hector Bellerin on the pitch, I love him as a player.
I've said openly, I would love Hector Bellerin to rediscover his old form, his pace and everything. But I'm watching him now and he's not only slower, his positional awareness on the pitch is poor. It's as though teams know it and they're exploiting it. I
mean, I don't know if we're being too harsh on him because he has had a serious injury.
I know he's had a serious injury.
And he has but can we afford has he really had enough time to
bed
recover?
Someone in? Can we afford to bed someone in?
That's it. But has he really had enough time to recover? But I just look at it and think, if I'm purely looking at a lot of it financially, and I'm looking at it under the financial fair play, we're going to need to get certain players off, and I'm looking at players that will have a resale value,
and he would have a resale value.
You get a 25-30 million pounds for him.
He's got a long contract left. He is about 3-4 years left.
He as well can go on and still have a great career at another club, and we could get much needed funds in to go, because you know we now got 2 right backs.
Yeah, he didn't play in Greece. You got to remember that, because Socrates went at right back. So when I watched him against Everton, I thought Hector would be nice and fresh. Richarlison was pulling him all over the gaff. And Everton, all their threat was down that right-hand side, their left-hand side, because they were pulling Hector into the middle, pop the ball over, boom. I want to know what's happening to Maitland-Niles, because when Arteta came in, he was one of our best players, and he seemed to adapt
himself out.
Well, this is the thing.
I've been saying.
I've heard that maybe he's been not had the right attitude within training. Don't know that, but Guendouzi as well. He's another
argument with Troops for a long time where I said, why is this guy moaning about playing at right back? Just get on, play, enjoy your football, enjoy the fact that you're in Arsenal's first team as a young player. And, you know, right back might be make it your own position.
The prime example is Saka, because he's 18 years old. He's a lad that plays as a winger. He probably doesn't like playing left back. It's not his preferred position. But he's looking at it and he's going, I'm 18. I'm starting and playing for Arsenal Football Club. And his performances have been that good that we're now talking about him being included for England and he should go to the Euros. And I looked at the comparison yesterday. They had 4 left backs, English left backs as comparisons for the Euros. And there's Chilwell, there was Saka, there was Danny Rose, and what's someone else? Who the hell was it? I can't remember their crap anyway. But it was just, do you know what? And I'm telling you, because I've had a lot of people this week, sitting there talking about this whole Saka situation, right? And you do need to look at some of the stats, right? I'll tell you this.
Well, he's got the most assists in the Europa League, isn't it?
Chilwell, Danny Rose, Luke Shaw, right? This is in all competitions this season,
he's
right?
Than all of them.
Minutes played for Chilwell, 2,330. 2 goals, 4 assists, chances created, 28. Danny Rose, 1,426 minutes, no goals, 1 assist, 13 chances created. Luke Shaw, 1,466 minutes, no goals, 2 assists, 20 chances created. Saka, 1,735 minutes, 3 goals, 10 assists, 29 chances created. That's right up there with, if you're talking 2 left backs to go to the Euros with England, Chilwell and Saka. I'm not saying Saka start ahead of Chilwell because he has got the experience.
I
know it's touch and go, but I still think
he offers more.
I still think he's got a lot to learn defensively. There are those moments, and I think that he's an 18-year-old kid that's still trying to grow into a man's body. And you've got to understand that as well. So all the physicality and everything, we've noticed that in the final 15 minutes or so of games, he started to tire a little bit, and that's because he's still a kid. He's not in his frame. He's not in his man's body yet. They say about letting you grow, whereas Chilwell's a man, you know, and he's more used to that sort of thing.
This is not being biased right now, I'd rather have Saka than Chilwell any day of the week. And I remember when I was up in Leicester about a month or so ago, I was doing that documentary out there. I was chatting to some Leicester fans. I spoke to about 4 different fans differently. And I was asking them I was being cheeky about Maddison and Chilwell, saying, yeah, I'll take them. And literally all 4 of them said, well, give us the right money, you can have Chilwell, because he's not a great defender.
But Maddison, they were all like, no.
And even Maddison, they were like, Maddison's a good player, but he's a bit of a... They were saying to me, they think it's gone to his head a bit recently. He's trying to take every free kick, but they were bigging him up. But the one that they were saying that you could have him was Chilwell. They were saying he's a decent player. I dropped my phone. They're saying he's a decent player, but, you know, I'd rather have Saka. We've got some great young players coming through, but a clear out is needed. I think the game against Olympiacos showed us very clearly, because this has happened too many times now.
Yeah, it has.
And whilst they've all stepped up and every single one of those players have improved, that team, if we can't get past Olympiacos when we're 1-0 up after the first leg in Europe, it shows you that team, in particular the defensive area, is simply not good enough. We need to bring in, and I know Saliba's coming in. We brought in this Pablo Mari. We're yet to see what he's going to be like. But honestly, that defence, and there's some key areas in the team that needs sorting out. How many goals have we scored from midfield this season? How many? The 1 goal that Ozil scored the other day, which basically the keeper should have saved that as well, right? We don't score hardly any goals from midfield. We are so reliant upon Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's probably sadly going to be the one that leaves.
We got to keep hold of Aubameyang, right? Because he's the only top quality player. I'm hoping that Aubameyang will look on it and say to himself, you know what, I messed up in the game as well. Because I should really have scored that goal, you know. And on the Aubameyang debate, we were discussing this as well the other day. Now, let's just for a minute take away. Let's think like footballers, because at the end of the day, we're fans of Arsenal. When everybody's gone, if every single person in that squad turned around tomorrow and said they're leaving, we'll still be here. If we go down to League One, we're still here. We got knocked out of the Europa League, we'll still be there at Portsmouth. We're fans. We follow it through thick and thin, yeah? A football player may love the club he's at, may have come through the ranks, may enjoy his time there, but at the end of the day, he's a professional footballer thinking about his career, right? So Aubameyang will be thinking about his footballing career, right? But I think if he is thinking about his footballing career, if I was in Aubameyang's shoes right now, I'd be looking at it and saying, right, I'm only going to leave Arsenal if Barcelona came in for Arsenal, for Aubameyang. I'd understand it if he said, guys, going to have to go, man, because this is too big at this age. I'd understand that one. If Real Madrid came in for him, I'd understand that one, because he said before in the past, and at Real Madrid, he wanted to pay for. If PSG came in for him, I could kind of understand that one as well. Although you're going to be second fiddle in a lot of those teams. You're not going to be the main man. Bayern probably, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. Bayern probably wouldn't come in for him. I know, I've got a cold. But Bayern wouldn't come in for him because, you know, they've already got Lewandowski and that. So what other clubs out there? I'm looking on it now. I'm trying to view it through his mind, yeah? If it ain't one of those clubs, and it's not going to be Liverpool, because they've already got their players, and United have got their struggles, so why would you... I don't think for Aubameyang, why would you want to leave? I know everybody's saying, oh, well, Arsenal at the moment are not very good and stuff like that, but Arsenal is still a huge club in the world. You're the captain. You're the main man. If Arsenal give you an extended contract, why not stay? You're going to be the highest earner, because as soon as they get rid of Ozil, the money will go, you know, a lot of that money, probably not as much as what he was getting, as what Ozil was getting, but you'll get a lot of money. Why leave? You're in London.
I won't blame him.
But if it ain't one of those other clubs, where would be a good proposition for him to go to then? Unless it was a Juventus, maybe.
DTFC.
You can pay him 250 grand a week. But unless or Juventus, maybe. But I can't see where else.
Honestly,
where else? Where you're going to go and you're going to be the main man. Yeah, because that's a lot as well. And you're the captain. Where else are you going to go and get that?
I hear what you're saying, but it might fall on deaf ears. I just look at it last night. I'm praying that he does stay. I really do, and
I think he'll stay.
I'm praying he does. I really, really do, because we need him. We genuinely need him.
As I said, I just don't see, because if he goes elsewhere to some of these other clubs, unless it's some of those ones I just quoted there, you're going to be second fiddle. You're not going to be the captain. So to me,
the grass is never always greener. And then
also are Arsenal making the right offers to keep him? Are they, you know, why are they not sitting down with him right now and saying,
well,
you know,
this should be addressed? And it's, you know, he made a comment the other day on one of your posts where the Mirror had been insinuating that he will only sign if we get in the Champions League, and he said, why are they talking?
Yeah, what are they talking about? They don't know. Yeah. So that seems to suggest that he's saying
it's
that
not that.
It's not that. It's not down to that. I think with Aubameyang, you know,
he wants to see ambition.
I think he wants to see ambition. I don't think it's necessarily based on Champions League. I think he wants to see a team that's moving forward, right? So that comes down to what are we going to be doing, and that's when it all comes back to this whole argument of, Who's gonna go? Who's gonna go out?
You all right?
I've got a cold, man. It's not what you think.
Hey, but that's like we're in the last 5 minutes. You're sitting there coughing away and everything.
The funny thing about it, right, is that somebody said to me yesterday, they go, the one good thing about getting knocked out of Europe, right, is that you ain't gonna be travelling around the place and picking up any coronavirus or any, anything like that. We've
only been going to Wolves.
Well, we've already started our own quarantine, haven't it? You know what I mean? All Arsenal fans have been quarantined to London.
Oh, mate,
but
yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Robbie. I know what you're saying. It's just, I genuinely, you know, if Aubameyang was to be sitting in front of me now, I wouldn't have no shame in begging him to stay, because I've waited so long, man. I think all of us as fans have waited for somebody that excites them like a Thierry Henry, you know. And we got kicked in the teeth with Alexis. We adored him. We loved him. And he never left us for pastures new that were going to make him better and win him trophies. That's not why he went to Manchester United. If he'd have went to Man City, we were even open to accepting that, because we were like, Man City, best team in England, one of the best in the world. You can't argue. He's going to go there, and within 4 months, he's picking up a Premier League title.
I forgot, actually, Man City could be another club that Aubameyang might be looking at.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But the fact he went to Manchester United was all about money. And that's why there was such a turnaround from being adored to being hated. You know, but with Aubameyang, this guy, he's genuinely come into this club and been a breath of fresh air. And we all heard the rumours before he came here that he's a problem, he's this, he's that. I've only seen a man that looks like he just enjoys life.
He enjoys this club.
Seeing him so upset after that game was just like he's so nearly in tears. And why did they let him do the interview? You know,
he's the captain.
Well, but you think the questions, I had to turn it off. It was so awkward.
He's the captain.
Because they were asking him silly questions like, what's going through your mind when you missed that chance? What do you think's going through his fucking mind? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you got to answer those questions. You're the captain. That's the thing.
But
you got to front up.
He looked heartbroken. He looked genuinely broken. On the pitch, he looked broken. That's what I want from my captain. Somebody who looks like...
So then stay and lead the fight back. Stay and lead, because you know what? Somebody, mate of mine, Liverpool fan, will say, Robbie, listen, you lot are where we were, right? Quite a few years ago. He goes, you know, and we had to start again. He goes, you look at Liverpool. He goes, we had to clear out, man.
Yeah.
We had to get rid of these Morenos and people like that.
They had so much dead wood.
He goes, we had to clear out. He goes, how many different goalkeepers, Mindane and this, people were like, you know, he was just drawing a lot of parallels. He's going, you know, people would come there, say he put in a good performance this week. People say, actually, he's not bad. Then the next week, you throw one in. And he goes, in the end, man, they just realised that if you're going to be the very best,
you've got to have the best.
And he was drawing a lot of parallels, and he was saying, boy, he goes, you guys, you've got some young players coming through, like we had Trent Alexander-Arnold and that. You got some young players coming through. You got guys like Tierney, bit like how we've had like your Robinsons and that. He goes, you got a great striker in Aubameyang. He goes, up front, Pepe and that. He goes, you got going forward, but he goes, you've got to sort out. And he goes, Liverpool was the same thing. And if you'd have looked back 4 or 5 years, you wouldn't have thought Liverpool would be running away, winning a title in the fashion in which they're winning it now. But the one thing about Liverpool, you look at them, they're the ultimate team. They're the ultimate team. Even if a player gets injured, if one of them strikers gets injured and Origi comes in, the job he does, and he's not a household name. He's not a... So if you can put together a team where everybody knows in that team what they got to do and they all play to the manager's plan. And I think that's what Arteta needs. He needs a team where all of those players are playing like what he wants.
Yeah. There's only 2 players that Liverpool signed where I would genuinely look at and go, whoa. Virgil van Dijk was one, because, listen, we'd all been screaming his name from when he was at Celtic, let alone when he went to Southampton. You knew what he was about.
Yeah.
Alisson, when they signed him.
Fabinho's been another awesome signing as well.
Yeah, but what I mean, you look at a lot of their side, when Salah signed, there was question marks, obviously because of his time at Chelsea, despite what he did at Roma and whatnot.
It wasn't a king's ransom, 30
odd million pounds.
Mane,
when they signed Mane,
million.
everyone was like, it's another player from Southampton. Yeah, but what will he do at Liverpool? Trent Alexander-Arnold, like you said, is a youth product. When they signed Robertson from Hull City.
Yeah, City. Yeah.
Can you imagine how many Liverpool fans at that time were going,
yeah,
it's not going to take us forward, is it? Now look, they've got the 2 best fullbacks in the league, and this is the difference between us as well. And this was a prime example with the what you say with Bellerin, is that every time Saka or even Tierney when he's played, or even Kolasinac has gone down that left-hand side, they're trying to beat their last man, put crosses in the box. When Bellerin goes down that right-hand side, all right, and he's one-on-one with someone, what does he inadvertently do every single time?
Comes inside or
Comes
cuts back. And he never, as well, he doesn't create overlaps. So I see, like on the left-hand side, you'll see Aubameyang, or and then you'll get Saka running outside. Saka, how many times did he take it to the byline? So he can come inside, or he can go out wide to the byline and hit it in. On the right-hand side, no, but everybody's cutting in. Because Pepe always cuts in. Bellerin always cuts in. So there's no width really on that. No genuine width.
Chalk on boots.
You want like that's where you want your fullback. When Pepe's coming in now.
Overlap.
Fullback overlapping so that you can feed him, and then,
And
the balance ain't there. The balance ain't there. There's still a lot. There's a lot to be. There's a lot to be done, isn't there? There's a lot to be done.
There's so much to be done, and we knew. I've sat here on podcasts. I've sat on fan cams, and I've sat and spoke to you and said there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. This is a huge bump, massive bump. I wasn't expecting it already, but Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. And I trust the process. I trust Arteta, but I tell you something now. Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, whoever is in control of the money this summer and whatever, this is the biggest summer in the history of Arsenal Football Club.
But what I'm saying is, it's not just about where everyone's just going to immediately say Kroenke's got to put his hand in his pocket, fork out 100 million, and that. It's not as easy as that with financial fair play. It's going to involve moving some players on.
We know you've got to move some players out. I know, but you've got to be ruthless. You've got to be ruthless, and that's where, as an owner, you need a ruthless owner.
And then the difficulty as well is, you say to us, I want to move you on, but he says, actually, I'm all right, man.
All right, well, listen.
Got a year left, I'm on 350.
At the end of the day, you start to play hardball, and you start to really turn the screw.
How? You can't turn around to him and say you're not getting your money. He can still sit it out. They need that money off. They need that money gone off the wage bill. Let's see if he will sit it out. Let's see if he will sit it out. Because this is the thing. Prime example was Adebayor. All right. Now, obviously, his agent at the time was John Smith, who we've both met various times. It's in his book. It's very well documented. He was at Arsenal, very happy. Arsene Wenger called him in his office and said, "We've accepted an offer, Man City. You're going." Adebayor was like, "No, I don't want to leave. I ain't going." And he was like, "Yeah, you are." I said, "No, I ain't." He said, "Okay, cool. You're going in the under-23s and you're going to stay there and you'll rot there." I think it's a bit. Ozil's a bit more powerful than that. They tried that already last season.
But maybe now they really have to turn the screw.
Do you think that was just Unai Emery's decision?
No, but what I'm saying is maybe they really have to turn the screw now. Maybe owners really have to turn the screw.
Do you think that was really Unai Emery's decision?
Not really.
That wasn't just Unai Emery's decision.
But then they buckled.
That was come from the top there.
But what did they do? They buckled.
Kind of hung Unai Emery out to dry in a way.
But why did they buckle? Because the performances on the pitch were not happening. And it led you to go, maybe we need Ozil in there because it ain't working. But if we're playing well and things are going and you're not missing him.
No, I'm saying Ozil's not a bad player, but we need to release those wages.
Yeah, we need to. Because
it
doesn't justify £350,000. It doesn't. I just want, we need a massive rebuild. We do. We need a huge rebuild and it's going to take time. But this summer for me is the biggest one because this is where the board have to really get behind Arteta. And if he turns around and says, you know what, I want Upamecano. I don't care if he's 50, 60 million pounds. Go get me my man. That's who I want. And that's who I believe will take us to another level defensively. Back him or piss off. It's to that point where it's all like, I'm seeing Josh leave the Emirates yesterday, there was images online showing him leaving the Emirates where they come out of that underground part and the entrance and whatever, and he looks all like sad. And is he really sad? Is he really dejected? Is he really sad that they've lost a bit more money, bit of revenue? But this is what I'm trying to say, Robbie. Do they feel what? Do they feel what we do? Do they feel what we do?
They don't.
No, he would have woke up this morning. Got on with his life, yeah, everything's nice, great, everything. I woke up this morning, I just wanted to go back to bed. Just wanted to just put the cover straight over my head. I didn't want to see nothing. I woke up and thought it was a dream. I was like, no, my God, it ain't a dream, it was reality. We really are out. I don't want to go on social media. I don't want to do anything. I'm gutted, I'm actually gutted. There's losing, and then there's losing. And that, for me, was right up there with the likes of Baku, where it was just so deflating.
Still getting the top 4 or 5 for the league.
Yeah, we can. I'm one of the only ones that has that sense of positivity.
How are we going to do
in
that?
Sense. Because we're only 7 points behind.
Behind where?
4th. And if 5th does come into play, we're 4 points behind.
Well, actually, 5th. People keep saying if 5th comes into play. At the moment, it is in play. They've been given a ban. They've been banned.
But have they confirmed that it will go to the 5th place in the Premier League, or will they give it somewhere else?
They've been given a ban. There's 4 teams that will go through. 4 teams, they won't be one of them, so it will go to 5th place.
Well, there you go, with 4 points.
So they've been given a ban.
4 points. Of course we can.
They're appealing against it, but the ban's still there at the moment.
We're not 14 points behind, are we?
Yeah,
you know, maybe I told you last night.
What did I say to you? We still got to go to City.
Yes, I know where we got to go.
We still got to go to Tottenham.
I know where we got to go,
still got to go to Wolves.
Still got to play Leicester. Still got to play Liverpool. Liverpool will be champions by then. They could do us a favour.
That's 5 games. Potentially where we could get nothing.
Out of 11. We've got 11 games left.
To get in the top 4, out of those 5 I've just named, I think we've got to win at least
3.
At least 2 and draw 1 to have any chance.
7 points out of 15.
We've got to beat some of them teams around us.
I think
I think we need 10. We've got to win all the rest of them.
I think we need 10 points out of 15.
Well, Man City away.
I think that we've got to
Tottenham
beat
away.
Leicester at home. We've got to beat Liverpool at home.
At the moment, you can't see it.
No, I know you can't. But hopefully, they're champions by then. They're worrying about the Champions League, if they're still in it. I'm praying they are, because I think they're playing the Champions League around us. We ain't got no European football now. I said to you in my interview.
They might be champions, but they might be just looking on it as well and saying about the seed. They've got another incentive, season unbeaten.
They might be beaten by then.
Might.
Yeah, I know. It's buts, maybes.
And
I know
Klopp,
that. But what I'm saying is
Klopp ain't going to send out a team of kids against us. He'll be going for it.
Listen, he sent a load of kids out against us, and we still can beat them.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So, but what?
City away.
Yeah.
We ain't winning that, are we?
No. Yeah, but Robbie, you don't know.
Wolves away.
You don't know.
We got embarrassed.
You don't know. You don't know what happens.
I know. But let's be real.
No. All right.
We don't know, but let's be real.
Right.
Be real.
My head is telling me, obviously.
What's your head telling you against City?
We're gonna get beat.
What's your head telling you against Wolves away?
We're gonna get beat.
What's your head telling you against Tottenham away?
Oh, we're gonna win that.
Your head.
My head and my heart always says we're gonna beat them.
When's the last time we won there away?
Huh?
When was the last time we won at Tottenham away?
Nowhere, because we ain't played there before.
When was the last time we won?
There before.
Come on, be real, yeah?
When was the last time we went away to Tottenham last year, and how well we played?
It was a draw.
And we should have won.
We should have won, but we didn't, did we?
But we played really well.
Played well, didn't we?
Yeah, fine.
So what's your head telling you in the Tottenham game?
We'll win. My head will never tell me any differently against that shit.
No, see, that's now your heart is affecting your head.
No, that's my head and my heart all rolled into one. But what I mean is that, look, at the end of the day, right, let's just...
We can beat these teams if we're
we could
absolutely happy, but then we defend like last night, right?
Yeah, I know
against
that.
City.
Oh, we'll get absolutely hammered. But
Liverpool.
If we just, we could sit there at the end of this season and go, Jesus Christ, getting knocked out the Europa League was the best thing that ever happened, because we're fresh, we're playing every week. There's a nice little FA Cup thing going on there as well, which is a little bonus on the side. We know I'm not going to be playing Thursday, Sunday, playing behind everyone. We've got that whole...
We'll still be getting a load of Sunday games. I bet you know what's going to happen to us now? They put us a load of Monday games as well now. I've seen them do that.
No, because all the Sky and everything's been done for March and everything, so they can't do everything. Like Brighton, we're playing Brighton away. It was a Saturday, but if we would have gone through, it would have been moved to a Sunday. So that game's now going to be the Saturday. So you look at that and you say, try and get the advantage. You know, without the pressure of going, oh no, they won this week, they won yesterday, they won. Now we have to go and put the.
You'd have that pressure.
You know, the pressure on them.
You'd have that pressure after this weekend because we ain't going to be playing no league game because City are going to be in the
Carabao
Cup final. Yep. So we're going to be playing catch up already.
Yeah, but it swings and roundabouts, Robbie. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, look, anything can happen in
Is
football.
the FA Cup our best route back into Europe through the Europa League?
What's the Europa League? I'd rather if you said to me, I told you this, and people might not agree with this, but if you gave me the option now, Europa League or no Europe at all, I'll take no Europe at all.
Why?
Because I think it would be the best thing for us with the rebuilding, without having that hindrance of playing in midweek and everything. Let's rebuild and start again. Europa League is just a hindrance. When we first went into it, because we'd spent so long in the Champions League and we were going to all these random places and stuff, I was like, yeah, it's amazing, it's an adventure. Now I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. I can't stand it. I can't stand the music. They stand there with that stupid thing in the middle like it's the Champions League. It's
that music's rubbish.
It's like, fuck off. I can't stand the Europa League. It's like, they're all waving. I'm like, go away. Get me out of it. I'm sorry, but I just... yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Brexit FC. And it's like... it's, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like...
Brexit FC.
That's it. Bam.
Out of Europe.
Do you know what I mean? Out of Europe. Do you know what I mean? And there's been no protests. Bang. Done. Should have just got us to deal with it from the very beginning.
Draw FC to Brexit FC.
There you go, man.
Brexit.
It's just like... But at the end of the day, look, let's just... focus now on the Premier League. That is our sole focus.
What about the FA Cup?
Again,
do you care?
It's a way.
It's a trophy.
Yeah, I know it's a trophy, but it also puts you in the Europa League.
You're that against the Europa League?
Yes, I am. I'm bored of it. I'm fed up with it. I'd rather watch Coronation Street on a Thursday.
But then you could argue, right? If had it not been for the Europa League, you probably wouldn't have seen Martinelli and his growth. Definitely Saka and his growth. Those are two players that emerge.
I don't care. I don't want to be in it anymore. I'm bored of it. And it's more of a hindrance than anything. Playing on a Thursday and then having to play a Sunday, it pisses the whole week off, the whole weekend. I'm bored of it now. I don't want to go to Borat FC anymore and where the fuck we're playing.
So you'd rather not win the FA Cup because
because it puts us in there. If you were to give me the option now, I'm sorry, yeah, but if you were to give me the option now, and I'm genuinely looking at this from a footballing perspective as to what's best for Arsenal. Now, winning a trophy is amazing. It's the be-all and end-all, right? But can we go another year without winning the FA Cup? Will it hurt us? Will it?
No, listen, for Mikel Arteta, in his first season, if he came out with an FA Cup win, that'd be good. That's progress.
Yes, if we got in the Champions League via the league, perfect, great. I'll take the FA Cup all day long. But what I'm saying is, if we finish outside the top 7 and winning the FA Cup is what's going to put us in the Europa League, I don't want it. Because I'd rather not be in Europe.
You'd rather not win the FA Cup?
No, because I'd rather not be in Europe.
No, that's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but I'd rather not be in Europe because then it gives us...
that's ridiculous,
It gives us the opportunity to rebuild. It gives us that opportunity. All right? Was it not Chelsea that fell out of Europe completely and then Conte took over?
They won the league, yeah.
And they won the league because they were playing...
Leicester won the league when they won Europe as well.
Because they were playing like... Weekly,
they're always fresh, yeah.
Weekly, while everyone's playing European competition. I'm not saying this because I personally don't want to go to these countries and travel around in -10. I'm saying it for the good of Arsenal Football Club because of the rebuilding.
Also for the good of Arsenal Football Club would be to win the FA Cup. It's still a high-profile trophy. It would still represent something tangible for Mikel Arteta in his first season. He's won a trophy. that's a platform to build off of as well, an important platform where it's something that can help to. It's not going to attract the elite players, but it's giving the club a bit of profile. You can go to when you're going to do business in the summer. You can say, well, you know what, won the FA Cup. It's a start, and now we're looking to build on that.
I don't agree. We won't agree on this one. I just feel that for the good of Arsenal, if we're not in the Champions League,
nah, come on, man,
don't play in Europe at all. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I feel that we would be better off out of it.
So you don't care if we beat Portsmouth then?
Of course I care. Of course I care. Don't try and switch this one as that I don't care.
I'm not switching it because
I'm just trying to say that I don't.
How am I switching it?
If I was given the a choice right now, if we get into the Champions League via the league places, I'll take the FA Cup all day long. I'll be buzzing, absolutely brilliant, no worries. But if we finish outside of so you've got to remember there's a lot of permutations here. If we finish in the top 6 anyway, yes, we'll take the FA Cup because we're in Europe anyway. But what I'm saying is if we finish outside of the top 7 and there's no European football, I would rather we have no European football.
So if we finish outside, it's looking like we're going to finish outside the top 7, yeah? But we're like in the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Of course I want us to win still.
You don't care
no. No. Again, don't get this twisted.
I'm going by what you said.
No, because of course I will still want us to win. Of course I'll be absolutely buzzing and enjoy the day and everything else. But the bigger picture is that I feel going into the Europa League will be more of a hindrance than a help. But it doesn't mean that I want us to lose.
Why are you crying we've been knocked out for? Why are you saying how gutted you are? Why are you saying, I couldn't wake up when I woke up this morning?
Because this season.
I took the blanket off and put the blanket
not
back
next.
on. It's Europa League, isn't it?
No, but it's next. It's this season.
Then we could be in it next season and progress further and try and win it.
Because this was a way of getting into the Champions League.
So next season. And then next year will be the same.
Not next season. No, not next season. I'm fed up
of waiting. That might
be
all we got.
No.
That might be all we got. Beggars can't be choosers.
No.
That might be all we've got.
I choose what I want. I want to be back in the Champions League.
So do I. But the only that could be all we got again. It's another option, isn't it?
Look, the question was put.
It's getting harder. It's getting harder and harder to get back in it. By being in Europa League, at least you have an option. It's another option open, which is just close to us. That's why we're all going. Come on, let's have it right. None of us really are super duper excited about lifting the Europa League trophy up.
Super duper excited.
Are you? Listen, what excites you is the fact that when you win that, you're back in the Champions League. It's got nothing to do with lifting that Europa League trophy. We all know. I think the Europa League as a competition is the worst competition at any competition where you've got a 3rd place team that finished not even 2nd, not even runners up. Explain to me any competition in the world, not the runners up, the team that finished 3rd drop out of the Champions League and then enter this competition like what Olympiacos did, and then are able to progress on and could possibly win this and be back in the Champions League. How can that be fair? How can that be right? Look at even the teams that played the other night, like say a Chelsea or any of those teams that are about to get knocked out of the Champions League. They're out. If they don't get into the top 4, they got no chance of getting into the Champions League. How can it be that Olympiacos or Inter Milan, for instance, have a chance of getting in the Champions League? They finished 3rd in their group.
You're basically rewarding failure.
It is absolutely ridiculous. This is why this competition is a load of old rubbish, in my view. But
I know what you really wanted to call it.
But you can, by winning it, get into the Champions League. Like what Atletico did when they finished 3rd. And that's why the whole competition for me is a discredited competition. However, it still remains that you can get into the Champions League. So no one's interested in lifting that trophy. For me, that trophy's scrap iron. All I'm interested in, and all anybody else who's in it is interested in, is that Champions League place. That's the real prize. So if you're in it, it's an option. You may as well be in it and give yourself an option, unless we got into the top 4, right? Then I'd understand it. If you got into the top 4, right, or top 5 and we're already in the Champions League, then I don't care about those. Yeah, then I'll be like you. I wouldn't care about it. I would rather not be in it, but well, you wouldn't need to be in it because you'd be in the Champions League anyway. But to me, man, if not, let's win the FA Cup. Let's get in through that way.
I just feel my personal preference is that given the rebuild, given the severity of what we need to do, if you were to give me that option of having no hindrance of European football, and it was the Europa League, not the Champions League, obviously, because the Champions League brings you the opportunity of signing the best players. You know, so there is a big difference. So you will be able to meet the demands of that if you've got a good squad and you've got quality players in. I just feel that, you know, if you gave me the option right now, no Europa League, and you get a full run at the Premier League, where you can play weekly, manage your new squad and new players and everything else, go for it.
Let me ask you one last question before we finish the podcast today. This as well, and I've deliberately left it right till the end because I don't want to sound bitter about it, right?
Oh, God, here we go.
Right? But don't you think that this rule, away goals, is the most ridiculous rule? Now, I, as I said, I've left it too late because I don't want people to say, oh, they're trying to make excuses, oh, they're bitter and that. It's something I've been saying even before this. How can it be fair? And again, this is where these competitions that you know what? The whole thing is corrupt. VAR, Europa League qualification, teams dropping out of one thing into another.
Why weren't they checking VAR?
And then
as well?
I don't know, there should have been a sending off in that game as well.
Well, there should have been a sending off, and there was a handball.
Yeah.
Didn't even go to VAR.
But why? How can it be fair that the away goals rule still stands after 120 minutes?
Yeah.
Now, you've got one team that go to play the first leg, whether it's Arsenal, whichever the team that is, you play the first leg, you've got 90 minutes in which to get an away goal. And then you've got another team, they've got 120 minutes in which to get an away goal. How can that be? Somebody please tell me how that's fair.
I've got no problem with the away goal rule if it's over
I think it's time to scrap that rule anyway.
No, but I think it's over the 290 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And what they should have done last night, where if you're using as an example, would be, right, they both had 90 minutes each with the away goal. They both scored one each. It's 1-1. We now go into extra time. Away goal rule is scrapped. If nobody scores in this extra time, it's penalties. If someone does, they win the game.
Simple as.
It's a simple rule.
A team, last night, Arsenal, you were at a severe disadvantage once you get to that extra time, because that team knows that actually now we'll go for it, because we score in this time, they've got very little time in which to make those goals up. It cannot be fair. Who makes all these rules? It's ridiculous.
The same people
who makes these rules
money.
that says that somebody's third drops? Honestly, we're going to sound like sour grapes. I'm not going to continue it on. But let me know what you guys think.
You know what to do, don't you?
What?
Go buy UEFA.
If I bought UEFA, the first thing I'd do, everybody there'd be sacked. Whoever makes the rues, because the rules are.
Would you put me in charge?
Oh, I probably would. You wouldn't. You couldn't do worse.
And can I also say, we sacked that ref as well, because he was diabolical. We moan about the English refs, but he was.
You know, last night I said he was okay, but then when I watched, it should have been a penalty. Sorry, it should have been a sending off with the Pepe thing.
Yeah, of course it was.
What's the difference between that and the Ramos one? You know,
no different. And there you go, inconsistency.
Yeah,
and
that would have been a different game entirely.
That's not a VAR error.
Yeah,
that's a refereeing error. And VAR was brought in.
Did they have VAR in the game?
Yes, the screen was there. In the Europa League, it's there for them to go over to.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So
I've had it with VAR. I've had it with everything, man.
That was a refereeing error. At what point? Yeah, the reason why VAR was brought in was to help refereeing errors, because we all know in real time it's difficult sometimes, and when players are running fast and it's cool, go over to that screen, have a look at it, you twat. All right, and you can see
it's been a tough season, man. This is a tough season.
You look at the Manchester United game. The Bruges player was sent off within the first 15 minutes or so. Rightly so. I don't know why he was trying to be a goalkeeper. He was trying to
handball it.
Right. But that made the tie so comfortable for Manchester United. And it would have been the exact same for Olympiacos. A tie would have been so comfortable. They would not have been able to play for what was... Wait, when would he have got sent off?
120 minutes.
It would about 100 odd minutes they would have had to play with 10 men. No. It's bullshit. And we're out of Europe.
We're out of Europe. We're out of time.
Brexit FC.
Brexit FC. Draw FC to Brexit FC. We're out. It's the FA Cup next week, and then it's back to the league. And all we can do now is try and do our best from now till the end of the season. Let us know what you thought of it. Are you like DT? Would you rather not be in anything at all if it means no top? If we don't get top four, rather be in nothing at all? Or do you think it's still worth getting into these competitions? Let us know. Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget you can download this podcast on all formats. But one thing's for sure, between now and the end of the season, we will not be discussing the Europa League anymore, because we are out.